A major complaint about public transit in the West Kootenays is that the current systems are difficult to navigate. On this episode of The Lunch Counter, the new regional transit strategy is up for discussion. Is the current transit system in your community user-friendly? Why or why not?
Well, I don't usually use the transit system here, although I have lots of students who do, and they find it very easy to use and they have no issues, and they're from all over the world, so it must be okay.
No, because as somebody who doesn't live in a major, one of the major cities, you pretty much you have very limited options when you can take the bus. You have to get this bus or no bus at all.
There could be more buses coming from the valley to Nelson. Sure. As far as the local transit in town here, I think that's pretty much feet, isn't it?
It's handy for us because the bus stop's right across from our house. So, like today, we dropped our motorhome off for storage and took the bus home.
We don't have any money except for what the taxpayers give us. So we're always mindful, because at tax time we get a lineup of people sitting across from us looking at our budget. We invited them to an open house to look at our budget. And when they see any giant jumps in anything, and transit included, they want to know what value they're getting for their money and how many people are riding. So a giant jump in taxation, because the regional district has no money except for what the taxpayers pay into it. So if we don't charge fares, then we would have to tax for the amount of fare loss for a year. And if people are patient and understanding and they value public transit enough, we can probably get away with that, but
So
it's more complex.
How much do you get from fares every year?
I don't have that
it's not
information.
very much. I did have that figure, but it's not very much.
Yeah.
You're probably talking $20,000, $30,000 a year. It's peanuts. You're not going to see these buses going down our street costing $400,000 and $600,000 a year to run them if they're not full. People are going to say, this is crazy.
Right.
We could have everybody buy everyone a compact car and tell them to go for it. We have to get people on those buses. They are getting on the buses in Nelson because there's a history of public transportation there. They always had streetcars. They've always had public transportation there. We've never had public transportation here. The biggest users of public transportation here are the foreign students.
In November of 2010, CASCAR went through some changes, and the system has expanded, and ridership has increased. Yeah. The funds or the fares have also increased, or the revenue has increased slightly. The other thing that's happened is people are starting to get to know about transit, and the connections are starting to work better between CASCAR Trail and Nelson, and that ridership is starting to improve.
In this case, we have 3 different service providers that serve this part of the West Kootenays, Arrow Lakes, Nelson, and then your organization. That's right, the Trail Transit Service. So for you to say that those 3 should have all along collaborated, you're probably right, but they all started transit at a different time, and they started transit in different portions of their areas in different times.
And there's even more than that, because you've got the 2 regional districts, and each regional district is separated. It has something different where they're collecting the fares, but you also have all the municipalities that the regional districts are responsible to reporting to. Yeah. So you've got to talk to all those mayors, all those councils, the regional districts, the administrators, BC Transit, the operators. We just get told what they want us to do.